Hey guys, welcome back to the continuation of my last video. This is the part 2, and in this video I'll be showing you how to cut and sew an off-shoulder dress. Okay, if you are yet to watch the first part, please ensure you check that out in the description box. Right now, as you can see, I folded my fabric on bias. This is about 3 yards, okay, of Ankara, and here from the neckline I am going up by 2 inches, and this will serve as my facing. And you can even achieve this by attaching it separately. Okay, you cut it out separately and attach. You can see that the guideline I had removed, the so-called seam allowance that was part of the pattern before, I cut it out, and that's why I'm adding 2 inches, okay, as my facing, as you can see. So if you are attaching separately, then you can leave the guideline, the seam, the half an inch seam allowance, okay, that also represented your guideline. You can leave it and cut out another fabric and attach or join to it later. Okay, so now I am cutting out. So just do it the way I am doing it here. You have to, fold it inside so that it will follow the shape of the armhole by the time you finish cutting. This part, this notch here, I'm going to be notching again because that is where my pocket is going to be attached. Okay, so I have my front, and this design does not have front and back, so you can wear it anyhow you want. Okay, so now I'm going to be cutting one more that will represent front or back. So it's one for the front, one for the back, and as you can see I folded it, so it has to be one for back and one for front. Okay, and as you can also see, I opened up my facing, I brought it out. Can you see now? So I'm going to be cutting it this way, following the shape of the facing. Okay, so I have 2 now for both front and back. Can you see now? All right, next is to add your interfacing. Now I'm adding my interfacing. I cut 2, one for front and one for back, okay, to face my so-called facing. So it's just to add a little structure to it. It has to be a bit, because this fabric I'm using is a bit light, so I need to also make it a bit strong, okay, because my elastic is going to be attached to my sleeve. So now here I notice that the 6 inches it has, you know, stretched a little. So I have about 7.5 inches. So I'm trying to, like, you know, trim out the excess. Okay, so you know, it is possible that your fabric stretches, so you have to take note of this. And I don't want it to, you know, to be too much. My plan is to have 6 inches as my width, and that's what I'm doing. And for the sleeve as well, I'm going to do the same thing I did on the main bodies. I trimmed out, can you see, I trimmed it out, and I'm going to be adding facing to it as well. Can you see, I have cut it out. Look at my facing, and I cut it on fold. I cut 2 because I need 2 sleeves. Can you see now? Okay, so this is my sleeve. Next is to cut my pocket. So I'm folding my fabric, and I'll be placing my pocket pattern on it, and I will cut this for one side and 2 for the other side. I hope you understand. So I'm having 2 pairs, 1 pair for one side and 1 pair for the other. So altogether I have 4 pocket pieces. Okay, now these are my fabric pieces that would be joined. So right now I'm going to just lay it flat like so, and note my pocket opening. I mean where the pocket is going to be attached, the notch on the side. Okay, so I'll be picking one. So now what you will watch out for is to note the side that is a bit higher. Can you see? This side is down, is a bit low, and this side is high. So the higher part is what is, you know, going to face the upper part, while the lower is going to face the down part. I hope you understand. So the is going to be attached right side to right side. Okay, so now you note the upper part and you attach it to the part that is facing the, you know, upper part. Can you see now? So this is how it's supposed to be attached, and I will do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and for this piece I'm going to do the same thing as well. So right now I am going to be stitching. Okay, so the next thing to do is to bring and stitch. You know, you ensure, since it has been pinned already, you stitch that pocket to the main fabric. Now this is my sleeve, and I'm bringing the sides together, and I'm going to stitch it as well. So once you stitch this side, you are going to the hem parts and roll once and stitch all round. Okay, just fold in once, I mean, and stitch all round because it has been stitched already. So for my main bodies, I'm going to lay the first one this way and the other one on it this way, and ensure you attach with pins, and ensure it's laying, the two are laying on each other flat properly. And you're going to stitch this way, stitch this way. Okay, you stitch, you stitch, you stitch, and you stitch. Okay, now I am done stitching. Can you see? This is looking nice. Can you see what I did? Okay, so this is what you're going to do when you're doing your own as well. And now let's see the outcome on the right side. Okay, can you see the outcome? This is the pocket, and this is the pocket on the other side. Can you see? You can make your pocket opening to be wider than this. Okay, so now this is my sleeve, and I've also hemmed the down parts. Now I'm going to attach to the main bodies. So the seam line at the seam line of the two, you bring it together and pin all round. Okay, you pin this way. I love using pins. Okay, so make sure you stitch all round, as you can see. Okay, I'm done stitching. Can you see? This is lovely. So you can serge, all these parts. You can serge everything. If you have a serger, you serge everything. And you can also use your hemming gum to tape the facing together. Okay, but for me, I'm not using that, so I'll be using my elastic for only the sleeve, and I will place it this way. Okay, from one end, attach with pin. So once you place it this way, I'm using 1 inch elastic, so I decided to leave little space, okay, inside, so that at least the elastic can have, little room to move around. So this is how you attach, and when you're sewing on the machine, you do the same thing. And ensure that you pin the two seams together, the one facing you and the one, okay, under it. So the idea is ensure you sew on the seam. Okay, so this is what you do. You draw this way when you are sewing it on your machine. Okay, now this is where you sew, and this is where you sew. You won't sew here, you sew this particular part, you sew from the outside. Now I am sewing from the outside. Can you see? I'm sewing the elastic, I'm joining the elastic to the main fabric. So I will do the same on the other side. Can you see the effect it's giving me on the right side? Okay, so now I'm going to be covering it up with the facing. Okay, so what you will do here is just to drag, or is it draw? Now you need to draw it, because the elastic might not really make that easy for you, but you need to just try and begin to draw till you get to the very end. Can you see? And ensure you don't sew on the elastic. Don't sew the elastic, please. So can you see the effect it's giving me? Very lovely effect. Beautiful. Okay, can you see now? So here I'm going to be using my hemming gum to finish it up. Okay, this is the outcome. Thank you so much for watching, and please, if you have any question, let me know in the comment section, and ensure you subscribe to my channel and follow me on all my social media platforms. Thank you once again. God bless you. Bye for now.